Now, let's return to Living a Sacred Life.
Hello and welcome back to Living a Sacred Life. Once again, I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson. So in our last segment, we ended by talking about the importance of changing how we speak or how we think. In this segment, I'd like to jump to that second method of storytelling, or that second view of storytelling, and encourage you to change how you view movies, how you read works of fiction, or how you watch your favorite television show. Did you know that you can take any story, whether book, television, or film, and you can chart or identify aspects of your own personal journey via the archetypes in the story? Let me illustrate for a second. There's an let me use an old, well-known, and very symbolic movie. It starts with a little girl named Dorothy, her dog Toto, 3 friends, a good witch, a wicked witch, and a yellow brick road. So here we are where we find Dorothy on this quest for a place somewhere over the rainbow, a place where she believes she's going to find love, respect, and a home. As a result of her wishing, she then finds herself, through the effects of a storm or twister, dropped into a strange land. And in this place, she meets a wise mentor in the guise of Glenda the Good, who tells her how to find the answers that she seeks, even though this wise mentor already knows the answer. She already knows that Dorothy can go home right here, right now, but she also knows that Dorothy must come to this realization of awakening herself. So, Dorothy begins the journey along the yellow brick road. Isn't it very interesting that it's yellow, like yellow chakra, related to facing our fears, becoming a spiritual warrior, learning self-worth and inner strength? Isn't that exactly the journey that Dorothy was on? So anyway, she goes on this journey, and along the journey she meets her first companion, the Scarecrow, who wants a brain. He wants knowledge, wisdom. Then they meet the Tin Woodsman, who also wants something. He wants a heart. Then the 2 of them, or the 3 of them, then meet the Cowardly Lion, who wants courage. Now, all 3 of these companions are physical representations of 3 different aspects of Dorothy. Body, mind, and spirit. They represent what she's on this journey seeking. So anyway, these 4 companions go on the journey to the Emerald City, Green Heart Chakra, a place to find truth about the authentic self. It is there that the 3 friends are told they already have a brain, therefore knowledge, a heart, and courage. They already have it. It is also there that they discover that the wizard is not a wizard. They discover the lie. They see behind the facade. They see behind the illusion. And isn't it interesting that it was, quote-unquote, man, not to be gender-specific, but it was man's best friend, the dog, Toto, who was the one to reveal this truth to the others. Toto had more sense than the 4 of them in that moment, and he revealed it to them. Now, many pet lovers, me included, we understand that dog in reverse is God. Did God, in the form of Toto, reveal this secret unto them? Something to think about. So anyway, we also find as Dorothy continues on this journey that she confronts the Wicked Witch. Interestingly enough, also, she is green. Makes you wonder. And as the Wicked Witch is attempting to set the Scarecrow on fire, Dorothy decides that she has to save and protect her friend. So in an attempt to save her friend, Dorothy takes water and throws it in the direction of the witch. Water, purifying, baptizing, and cleansing is the very substance that neutralizes the witch, neutralizes the thing that they feared, neutralizes the anger, neutralizes that aspect of the ego, and they watch it dissolve, setting not only Dorothy and her companions free, but everything else and everyone else that the witch held captive. Later, we find Dorothy being told by Glinda that she already has the power, and she already had the power all along, to go home. All she had to do was click her heels together 3 times. 3. The Holy Trinity. 3 times, saying there's no place like home. She then awakens, new, enlightened, and ready to share with others what she has learned. So in this story, we can also see our own personal journey. We can see through the eyes of Dorothy, through the actions of Dorothy, through this story and film, aspects of our own hero's journey. It's not just in The Wizard of Oz. It's in The Matrix, where we find Neo awakening to become the One. Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Forrest Gump, The Last Samurai. Those are just some of my personal favorites. You can pick any film you want. Another of my favorites, Steel Magnolias. If you watch the film, watch each character and say, each of these people represents some aspect of me, and follow and chart their journey. It provides great insight as you use that as part of your own spiritual or daily practice. One of the things that I'm getting ready to set up with my organization is a monthly movie night where we're going to watch movies, documentaries, films, cartoons, etc., and sit down and do this exact thing and study and learn and reveal more truths about ourselves through these stories. I mean, after all, long before things were written, how was instruction? How was knowledge or morals, ethics, how were they taught? Through the oral tradition, through storytelling. So, moving on, we find that if we look at each of these stories, we find our own obstacles and potentially how to overcome them. Because every one of us, in essence, is a director. We are the director, the actors, the supporting cast, the extras, the crew. We're everyone in the making of our own personal film. We decide what the story is going to be. We're the authors creating the chapters with each word, with each thought that we think. Are you telling the story that you want to tell? And be very, very, very careful in how you answer that. Are you truly telling the story to everyone? Because it's real easy to not see, to deny, or as I often joke with a really good friend of mine, to be in denial, as in the Nile that, well, never mind. I'm not going to get into an inside joke with Tracy, and I'm sure she's listening. But it's a biblical joke referencing the Nile being in the Nile, in denial, because when you're in denial or in the Nile, you might want to pull out a boat and get an oar and get out of the water. Because for as long as you're in the water, you're not moving forward. And while you're in the water, you might drown. So you might want to get out of denial and move forward. It's really important, all jokes aside, it's really important to be very careful and very mindful of the stories that we're telling. Not just how we're telling our life story to other people, but what are we telling ourselves? When you wake up in the morning, it's just you. Theoretically, it's just you in your own bedroom. It's you in your own head. No one else is in your head. What are you telling yourself as you go about your day? If you stub your toe, what do you say? Many people, pardon my language, bump their toe and they say, clumsy ass. Why am I so clumsy? I always do X, Y, and Z. Why would you want to affirm that you're clumsy? Why would you want your daily mantra to be, I am clumsy? I am clumsy. I do this all the time. I always do this. Well, do you really? Every time you get out of bed, do you stub your toe? No. So why say you do? It's really important that we take the time to think about the words that we speak. And a wise teacher once told me before you say anything, think about it. Don't let anything come out of your mouth until you're absolutely sure that what you're saying is what you mean. So as we come to a close of this segment of the show, I'd like to offer you the opportunity to call in for one of our later segments. I'd also like to offer you the opportunity to email me to further this dialogue or get more information. I look forward to chatting with you further. So stay tuned. This is Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson.
Are you seeking spiritual guidance or spiritual instruction and insight? Do you want Reiki or a holistic life coach to assist you in manifesting the life you are meant to live? If the answer to either of those questions is yes, then take this as opportunity knocking at your door. Pick up the phone or email Reverend Dr. Ray Anderson today and make those necessary changes in your life. Say goodbye to the mediocre and hello to the extraordinary life. What are you waiting for? Chat with Reverend Dr. Ray today. Call 202-607-1573 or visit www.clspfi.org on the web.